All right. Good afternoon, everybody. It's early afternoon, even. I put a towel up here because I couldn't even see the. It was so bright, is what I'm saying. It was hard for me to see. I didn't figure y'all could see in the video. This one here is running this battery down here and this battery right there. This one is not hooked up to nothing. But these were the two new batteries. Yeah, I'm going to put it in the deal if I can edit it. Is I took a screenshot. This one is currently still on standby. This one here is being used just a tiny bit. Let me show you here. The batteries are full. We're pulling a 1 kilowatt load. And this one is giving up. These two are giving up a little bit of the juice. The solar is taking care of the rest. This one here is holding a voltage of 27 with a current. Otherwise, it wouldn't even make any amperage. It's a current to 19 amps. And this one, I can probably get. Let's see if I can get it. No, maybe not. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry, I hit the wrong one. Okay. Okay, it's not actually putting anything to the batteries. It's all going into the load because there's enough in the batteries that it doesn't have to. So it's just working like a slave and a master and a slave is what I'm trying to say. This is hokey at very best. I just have the big battery cables. This won't work with car like what you jump a car with. These cables are for like a semi. They're, I think, either 4 or 2 gauge wire. They're really huge, y'all. I should have wiped them off and looked first. They're just nasty. I don't want to do that. But they're really big wire is what I'm trying to get at. It's much bigger than the 6 gauge wire that I'm using to connect all this stuff up with is what I'm trying to say. When you got 4 or 5 or not 4, 4 batteries in a semi, 2 or 4 batteries in a semi. If you don't got cables like this, you're going to smoke them. I mean, they'll melt. That's what these are for, and that's what makes this possible because it puts the two systems together. But like I said before, this battery's on standby. This one, let me see if I can. There we go. This one here is only at 99%. I'll show you that in the video. And pulling a 1 kilowatt load, as long as there's sun, it can keep this up for like another 400 and something hours. At nighttime, that will change. It won't keep that up. It's Sunday. Come tomorrow, this is going to go away. I'm going to clean up the edge with the diamond tip in the grinder. And then pour that with concrete is what I'm trying to get at. Yeah, I don't need it no more. That was for the lead acid batteries. These don't need that. I thought about getting a stainless steel rack and separating them so there was air around them, but that's like another $300, y'all. Ain't going there. Not today, not tomorrow or nothing. Haven't moved these yet, but that is what this was all about. The other inverter is coming this Friday. The solar panels that I'd ordered that I was confident that I would not have a problem because they were an American company. They just gave me the thing that I need to make another selection, blah, 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 blah. It was like, man, what a drag. So if you're looking for stuff, know that it's still hard to find. Good luck and prayers be with you and all that jazz. This is the only load it's really pulling. It's still doing the freezer and all that. The whole rest of the house, lights, all that jazz. But the LEDs don't use that much power, y'all. Not like the old incandescent lights were. Sorry about all this. This is just as the tools migrated. And eventually they'll go upstairs from here. The pumps were still running nice and cool. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's nice. Yep, no hot pumps. And that's always a nice sign. No leaks. The one that was here finally gave up. I haven't done any of the. As I was thinking about lifting up all the pipes, kind of wire, or using a ratchet strap kind of thing, and lifting them up, and then pouring a little bit of concrete. While I pour this concrete, there is just buy a couple extra bags and put a instead of gravel, just make it finished concrete. But that's here to there. That big old stain, I don't know what it was. I'm thinking it was a hemp oil experiment that went horribly wrong or something like that, because nothing would cut it. Alcohol wouldn't get it off. I bought some Walmart version of the Easy Off. Nothing. Ammonium, nothing. The Pine Sol one, nothing. It was just an ugly old splash of a stain, and I finally used the Easy Off. Gone. So can't say that don't work. It works perfect. Oh, in like I was saying before, that's really why I'm doing this video. Is I said that the BMS, the Bluetooth, is not working on the thing, and I was thinking that it was because they're on standby. Is exactly right. When on standby, the Bluetooth shuts off. Why? I don't know. It just does. The second they even drew an imp of power from them, and you'll see the deal. I'll take a screenshot of it. Is perfect. They came right back on, communicated, and all that, and I love that feature. Now, out of all of this Bluetooth communication, because it's not just talking to this square box, it's talking to each individual cell inside that box, all 8 cells. That's what makes it critical. And if you can see that, you would understand why they do what they do. I mean, like the voltages will be 3.2 is the nominal voltage. Anything above that is charged to a degree. 365 is fully charged. I think that equates to 29.2 or something like that volts. But for 8 cells, at 3.2 is what I'm trying to get at. But that's the max that you want to push those same cells, is what I'm trying to get at. Anything more, it's a fire hazard. And though the equipment that's in here is so cheap compared to burning down your house or losing a barn or some other silly thing because you wanted to save $3 and run to Fred's or some other place. Buy the right equipment and you're going to have a lot less drama in your life. Just the way it is, y'all. And eventually is like this battery charger right there. You can't really tell it. Is this doodad right there is a battery charger, and it runs on 240 when the next inverter, or when the other big charger gets here. It'll be able to run this one, another one just like it, but running at 24 volt. I was asked why I'm doing all this. Is these chargers were really cheap. I don't believe I paid $129 for that. I had a friend say, "Oh, you can't get that. It doesn't have any instructions." Blah, 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 blah. He went on and on how it didn't work for him and stuff like that. It's worked flawlessly for me. I think he just got a bad one, is what I'm trying to get at. I've never had a no nothing. The only thing that it did in the beginning and did again when it got interrupted is the solar cannot be hooked up to the inverter. It makes a loop, and it'll just shut on, turn off, shut on, and turn off kind of thing. But it has to be, one leg has to be dropped, or a breaker, flipped or whatever. And then it starts up and goes all back into the deal all by itself, que sera, and it's all good. That's the only thing I've found. The instructions that I finally did download, not from this company, didn't come with this box. There was nothing in that box. But what I downloaded and what I've been using said that leg 1 and leg 2 were backwards of what they are here. Leg 1 is the one that turns on and off with the voltage, like a too low or whatever, and that's what this whole setup is on that one. So if that gets low in any way voltage wise, it'll automatically just shut off. It's on that leg. But in the instructions, it was backwards, is all. And it wasn't a hard thing to figure out because the other leg carried like 2,500 watts or 3,000 watts one day. And I knew what the load was going to be. And it didn't shut it off. And it was like, well, it should have. It should have shut off at 1,500. That was the other leg. But, hey, other than that, not an inch of problem. In another reason, somebody asked about this one here. This doodad can take anything. It can go to wind. It can do hydro. This is a PV solar battery charging computer. That's the Midnight one here. Can't stress it enough. It really worth its money. About $700 back in the day. I still think they're about $700 or probably even more today. Well worth its money for what it does. It can take an insane amount of wattage, like 250 volt at 63 amps. Freaking insane amount of wattage, and convert that to DC. You can even tell what you can program the amperage and everything that it goes into the batteries. These do too. I can't knock on this one. I'm just saying these smart ones, you kind of expect more than that, is what I'm trying to get at. But does well. Both of them do well. The new one that is just going to make 240 to make the load in the amperage lower to the devices, and it'll allow me to really crank up the floor. Right now, the floor is at 78 going out, 79 going out, 78 returning. So there's a 1 degree loss, and that's at low. But when it's 20 degrees or negative 20, and this is the new tank that has the two elements, instead of 1,000 watt, I'll be able to put 5,000 watt into that 4,500 watt into the floor. Make a big difference on the sunny days. And that's what today's difference is. It's sunny. And make crazy amount of solar just with what I got. I only have 9 working panels. That black one takes 3 panels in series. That one has the other 6 in series. What they do with the energy, not comparable. This is better. Just better. There's no words for better. I thought in the beginning that the solar had to go through this. Nix, it does not. And I just proved that today by doing what I did. But it has to be hooked up to the battery so it knows what it is. I mean, so it knows all the voltage and all that is what I'm trying to get at. But from now on, I can use this to charge all of it if I want. I won't. I'll use the other one that I'm getting. Like this was like a little brother and big brother kind of deal. They got this size. It's all of these are in the same exact cabinet. They got this variety, which doesn't allow much amperage or voltage. Really limited on what it can do to get it to the 24. The new one that I'm getting is bigger. It's the big brother to this, and it doesn't have any of those limiteds. Like this one is limited to, I'm gonna say whatever 6 panels at 37 volt or 6 at like 240-ish or something like that for the voltage. It was lower. Like I said, I could have put it all through this, but I thought it had to go through that. It was like 240 or 200 something volts in this one, but 13 amp. It was a limit on that too. The new one that's coming is like 22 amp. I'm guessing. I'm thinking, but I thought that's what it said, or 2 circuits of 22 amps or something like that. It's much bigger, like 6,500 watt of power. just through that one inverter alone. So won't have any limits, especially when it comes to heat and water. That'll be taken care of from here on out for the floor. Otherwise, like on cloudy days, well, I shut it off on cloudy days anyways. There's no reason to run it. But I won't have to do that anymore. I'll have the reserve, and when I get more batteries, I'll have even more of that is what I'm trying to get at. These batteries I bought to make like a golf cart car racer thing. The house, when it's eventually done, is going to be all 48 volt. The batteries will be 48 volt, the inverters and all that. I'm going to still keep at least like one of these, or all three of them is what I'm trying to get at, but only hooked up to one battery at 24 volt. So just so it can do what it needs to do, and then the rest will be like 48, stacked into 48 volt. Same thing I do with this one here. Or these right here, is I still have all the 12 volt inverters. There's another one right there. There's another one here somewhere. There's three of them here for the 12 volt. And why do I keep them? Because with the flip of a switch, you got the lights back on. That's what this is all about. Anybody that says, oh, we're only doing this one massive inverter, this one massive charger, this one massive battery, this is better. Personally, I've been on off-grid for 12 years, 100%. I've been an off-grid kind of person my entire life. My dad was an old-school solar freak from back in Jimmy Carter, President Carter's day. My old man lost his mind when Jimmy Carter put the solar panels on the White House. This wasn't even possible back then. My dad would be smiling if he was seeing this. I know it would get the stamp of approval from the old man. That I'm positive, or confident at least. I'm confident. He might have said, that I needed to hurry up and get around a little faster, but I'm doing the best I can as a cripple. That I'm just doing it the best I can. And what else? Well, slowly but surely, this is getting all de-hokified. That'll be covered up tomorrow. I'll get the concrete going in that. Hopefully clean up that other mess over there. And then it's time to hook up the pipes again. It was clean, y'all. Another whole year. That's really like a big self-cleaning oven. Perpetually self-cleaning. It works really well. Y'all are willing to go back in the videos. That's like patent free. I did this. I designed all that. Use it. If you're going to sell it, I want credit. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for royalty. I'm not asking for nothing. But I am asking for intellectual property credit on this design. And if you don't, then yeah, I probably will sue you. And I'll get it one way or the other. So you take it however you want. But you're welcome to it. It burns extremely clean, like natural gas level clean. For burning pine at 10,000 feet, that's an incredible stunt. Y'all don't realize, I'm in the highland desert of Colorado, up in the Rocky Mountains. Fires are a little bit more difficult here than at sea level, especially fires that burn clean. That's a whole different topic, is what I'm trying to get at. But the design is there. You burn for about 3 hours. It'll re-radiate the heat for the rest of the, until you do it again the next morning. 21 hours does well, is what I'm saying. Like I said, you're welcome to the design. There was a new, I think I put a video out, I'm not sure. I only did this with what I had, kind of like all the rest of this junk, is I just make do with what I have. It's not exactly the way I would do it if I was given a choice, is what I'm trying to say. And that's the same way. There's ways to make this much better. So, but unless you make it like a lot better, and then you say it's yours, and you didn't make it any better, and it's really mine, then yeah, I'll get it. I'm tired of just giving stuff away to people that don't even give me credit for it. That's enough, y'all. half of the reason why I stopped doing the hemp thing, half of the reason I stopped doing a lot of stuff. It's just not worth sharing it if I don't even get all I'm asking for is a recognition credit. And if you're too fucking cheap to do that, then too much of a prick to help you out is what it comes down to. Okay, let's get over that. Let's get past that. Yeah, we don't need. Nobody needs whiny. Yeah, that's yeah. We don't need to be. We can get above that. Okay, hopefully by the next time we do this, possibly concrete over there. This little one will be in the middle. This one over here will be this side. The new one will be over there. Coming this Friday. Still got to find new solar panels. I tried to get back with the company that I was talking with. They're going to look for a way around. I can't go, like, I can't do Trump's extortion and double the price kind of bullshit. I can't do that. I make enough power like it is. I would just wait and order it when it's reasonable. But I would not order it from here. I would order it directly from China, where the American companies are getting it from, and now they got a logistics problem. And I would just, pay the shipping and whatever. Speaking of ordering from China, paying the shipping and all that, is I've been talking to the same company that makes the Easy Go club car assemblies that are like made there but assembled here in America. And I asked them to build, to consider a car, because I need it to be more moxie than like 48 volt. So what I asked them for was 72 volt BDLDC motor, Curtis controller, 350 amp Curtis controller, the 76 volt lithium battery, 24S. So there you can do 70, what they call 72, big one to the parentheses thing. And it's really 70 volt if it's 20 cell or 22 cell, and it's 76 volt if it's the 24. I'm talking about the 24 cell job. It'll be in a metal box like these. I asked for a communicatable BMS like this one has, and I'm hoping to get them here like 2x2 seating, where there's 2 front, 2 backward seating. That kind of golf cart is for about $11,000. If any of y'all want to get in on this, I would like to buy a cargo container full of them and just put them for resale. That same cart is like $14,000 now, or more ish, more. That's the Mac Daddy kind of car. And yeah, I was even asking for 4-wheel drive if that was available. But that's the ballpark where we were at. But hit me up if anybody has that kind of capital, to buy a cargo container full of them. That is something that I would really like to do. Solar, batteries off grid, that is my thing. Always has been all my life. So, okay, guys, I'm going to drop it for here. And like I said, come Friday, hopefully all this is swapped around and we got the new one in. We won't have the panels, obviously. That got canceled, but or put on hold or whatever. We'll see what that turns out, and I'll give you a bump up on that. And if you're one of these companies that make 49 volt panels that are like, that's 120 cut half cells or whatever, but about 10 amp and 49 volt, that's what I'm looking for. And it needs to be 1133 or 1144 millimeters wide to fit the rack setup that I got. I'd take 12. All right. Appreciate y'all's time and appreciate you watching. And I thank you. You don't know. Just for being out there on the other end of this. I wouldn't make them otherwise. All right. Well, we'll talk to you then. All right. Bye.